Let's talk to Jamie Jenkins, though, independent statistician, because a few different stats have come out over the last couple of days. So this morning, inflation has come out unchanged at 3.8% for August. That's according to the Office for National Statistics. Jamie, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike. Yeah, so inflation's kind of stuck at that 3.8%.
I smell a bit of a rat there. It doesn't seem right to me, that, does it?
Well, there's some good news in the numbers, Mike. What's kind of kept inflation down, if you want to, is rather than going up, is airfares are down. So the government trying to get all these migrants back over to France is saving a bit of cash over there.
Well, tell you what, they weren't down when I went to America. I couldn't believe how much they were charging me.
Yeah, well, obviously how many people are going on those flights, Mike. But yeah, so if you take the numbers at face value, they are kind of, because what the ONS does is it creates a basket of goods, so it looks at a lot of different things. So what we can say is food inflation's up. So that's the one thing that tends to hit the kind of the viewers and the listeners the most. So food inflation's actually gone up now to 5.1%. So that's hitting people. And then we get other data from the ONS as well, and we can break down who's really impacted the most in terms of inflation. So poorer households are being impacted more. So their inflation rate is higher than this average that we're talking about overall, because they spend more of their money on food and energy. And you tend to find private renters are actually being impacted quite a bit as well, because private rents have gone up a lot. So remember, the average inflation rate is 3.8%, but different groups of people have their own different inflation rates.
Right. And I see from something that you've put out earlier on Twitter that basically inflation might still be at 3.8%, but it's still a lot higher than France, which is 0.8%, and Germany 2.1%. So, I mean, we're not doing terribly well when we're compared with Europe.
No, and we're higher than the US. Obviously, Trump's come over. Maybe Starmer can ask him what he's doing over there. And part of the problem, Mike, is energy. If we can't get energy prices down, the energy mix, we're exposed quite a lot in the UK because we import far too much energy, and we've got kind of the exposure with all of the wind and the solar that we've got, which they tend to have so much in the US. So getting energy costs down is critical to getting inflation down. And what these numbers today mean, Mike, is probably that the Bank of England won't be cutting interest rates as much, so that impacts people obviously with households who looking to remortgage and things, so that'll be there. And the borrowing costs that we've got in the UK are obviously higher under Rachel Reeves, because we've got more tax going in, Mike. We've got higher prices than other countries. So in terms of the actual man on the street, the woman and all that, it's very difficult for the government to move because people haven't got that money to spend to stimulate the economy. Yeah,
and there's a lot fewer people working as well, right? Because this was a figure that came out yesterday, 143,000 fewer people on payroll since Labour took office.
Yeah, and what that is as well, like 7 months in a row. So if I put a chart out yesterday and you just track that, it's just a sea of red. Since the election, payroll jobs just down, 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 down. 7 months in a row, that's quite a lot there, Mike. There's very little confidence in the economy, and I can see that continuing. And private sector is continuing to get worse. And it's only public sector where the government's borrowing money to spend on more jobs, mainly in the NHS. And you talked last week about health waiting lists going up, which isn't great. If it weren't for the NHS and putting money in there, even that would be looking even worse.
Yeah, it isn't good, is it? So, I mean, in terms of what the OBR have said this morning as well, which is more bad news, which is not a statistic as such, but they're saying their productivity forecast for the autumn, when it comes out soon, is likely to be downgraded because they're not sure that there's any productivity going on at all.
No, and basically everything's being downgraded. The only things that are going up, obviously, is the small boat crossings that we've seen. Yeah. Inflation's kind of sticky at that 3.8%. Productivity is an important measure, though, Mike, because ultimately we've got to be able to compete with other countries to get that investment into the country. But because of the tax hikes that we've seen, we're seeing business investment down, people leaving the country, and then you've got that conundrum which the OBR will have to bake into their forecasts when we go into the budget later this year, is that if the overall tax take per individuals are coming down because people are leaving, you're just going to have to tax people who are staying even more, and that just makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrendous. Listen, we're going to talk to you again soon, I'm sure. Jamie Jenkins, thank you very much indeed. Independent statistician there. Check him out on Twitter. He's got lots of good stats that you can see there, and of course he's commenting on today's breaking news that inflation remains apparently unchanged at 3.8%.